From a young age, the path of a Sigma male is filled with hidden challenges that few understand. They don't fit into conventional molds, which makes them feel like outsiders, even during their childhood. While other children seem to flow with society's expectations, Sigma males face life with a combination of curiosity and self-confidence, forged out of necessity. At Official Sigma Male, we know what it means to walk alone, to learn how to fend for yourself when no one else seems to be there, and how that experience shapes a strong yet silently scarred adult. If you've ever felt the world pushing you to follow paths that aren't yours, this video is for you. Here, we'll reveal the untold childhood struggles every Sigma male has lived through, the hidden truths behind their strength. Get ready to discover why those challenges were key in shaping you into the man you are today. And if you identify with what we're about to share, don't hesitate to subscribe to Official Sigma Male, to keep learning how those challenges can become your greatest strength. Self-confidence from necessity, not choice. From a very early age, many Sigma males find themselves in situations where they can't rely on anyone else. This forced learning of self-confidence isn't a deliberate choice, but a lesson imposed by life. While other children rely on the support of parents, friends, or teachers, future Sigma males learn to do things on their own. Whether solving a math problem without help or facing their emotions in silence, they discover that depending on others is not always an option. This early independence strengthens them, but also leaves scars they carry throughout life. Over time, this self-confidence becomes their trademark. They become problem solvers, life critics, and resilient individuals capable of facing any challenge. However, this "I can do it alone" approach comes with an emotional cost. While other children seek comfort in their social circles, the Sigma male grows accustomed to handling difficulties on their own. This doesn't mean they don't desire support, it's just that their experience has taught them that, in many moments, they'll need to rely on themselves before anyone else. And while this path turns them into strong, self-sufficient adults, it also makes it hard for them to ask for help when they need it. It's not out of pride, but because their whole life has been built on the idea that if something needs to be done, they'll do it themselves. This internal struggle persists into adulthood, making them prefer to deal with problems alone, even during the toughest times, rather than seeking external support. Nature against the system. From their first steps in the world, Sigma males feel like they're swimming against the current. Society, with its rigid structures and predefined expectations, seems designed for those who easily adapt to norms. But future Sigma males don't fit into that mold. While other children adapt seamlessly to the school system, they feel that the rules and rigidity limit their desire to explore the world in their own way. While their peers follow established curriculums, they long to dive deeper into subjects that genuinely capture their interest, beyond superficiality. This conflict with the system isn't limited to the school environment. Even in recreational or social activities, Sigma males feel the pressure to follow what is considered normal. Whether in organized games or group activities, their mind is always seeking something deeper, something that challenges their intellect. They are the kids who take apart their toys to see how they work or get lost in thought while others play carefree. These differences, far from being understood, are often seen as an inability to adapt, reinforcing their sense of being misunderstood. However, this struggle with imposed norms gives them a unique advantage. They develop independent thinking skills from a young age. They learn to see the world from a different perspective, to question what others simply accept. This constant friction with society's expectations not only shapes them, but prepares them to find their own path, one aligned with their unique way of thinking and being. Misunderstood curiosity. From a very young age, Sigma males are curious children with a restless mind that leads them to ask questions others simply don't consider. While most accept things as they are, they always want to know more, the why of everything. This trait, while valuable, isn't always well received in their environment. In classrooms, their constant questions can be seen as distractions rather than signs of intelligence. Phrases like, "We don't have time for that now," or "That's not part of the lesson," become commonplace in their daily lives, temporarily dimming their spark of curiosity. This misunderstanding doesn't just happen at school, but also at home. For parents, after a long day at work, their children's questions about the universe or science can be exhausting. Simple questions like why the sky is blue can turn into complex conversations that few adults are willing to have. And while Sigma children find these discussions fascinating, they often face tired looks and short answers that invite them to settle for simplicity. Over time, they learn to silence their questions, hiding a vital part of themselves so as not to bother others. However, this curiosity never completely disappears. Even though during their childhood they learn to hold back many of their questions, inside that spark continues to burn, waiting for the right moment to reignite. And it does later in adulthood when they find ways to satisfy their thirst for knowledge on their own. These Sigma males become critical thinkers, people who never stop learning and who see the world with a depth that few can reach. Always felt different. From an early age, Sigma males experience a persistent feeling of being different from others, as if they don't fully fit into the groups around them. While other children feel comfortable following trends and established norms, the Sigma male perceives the world in a unique way. Perhaps they preferred more creative activities over sports, or they found conversations with adults more interesting than children's games. This feeling of being different manifested itself in small details, like a peculiar sense of humor or unusual interests that their peers didn't share. This difference often left them in an uncomfortable position, being observers rather than participants. They might feel left out in family gatherings or on the playground, unsure of how to join conversations or games without losing their essence. While other kids talked about trendy topics, the future Sigma male preferred discussing complex theories or sharing deep ideas, which generally didn't resonate with their surroundings. This dissonance between their nature and that of others reinforced their perception of being an outsider. Over time, this feeling of being different no longer weighed on them as it did during childhood. They learned to embrace their uniqueness and value their distinct way of seeing the world. However, the scars of those years of feeling misunderstood persist, affecting how they relate to others in adulthood. Though they have learned to embrace their difference as a strength, they never forget how hard it was as children to feel like they didn't belong, underestimated and constantly questioned. Throughout their childhood, Sigma males face constant underestimation from their surroundings. By not following the traditional or expected path, teachers, peers, and even family members tend to assume they aren't capable of achieving certain things. Their unconventional approaches to solving problems are misunderstood as mistakes or lack of effort. In school, even if they excel in areas that interest them, their lack of motivation in other subjects causes them to be labeled as lazy or uninterested, rather than recognizing that they simply have a different approach. This underestimation doesn't just happen in the academic environment, but also in social settings. Their reserved and reflective nature is often mistaken for weakness or social awkwardness. Other children, and even some adults, may see them as less capable or interesting simply because they don't fit the typical mold. This constant doubt about their worth deeply affects Sigma males in their formative years, forcing them to develop thick skin and strong emotional independence. They learn to trust their own judgment, even when everyone else questions them. Over time, this underestimation becomes a source of motivation. Sigma males start to see every doubt or criticism as an opportunity to prove their worth, not to others, but to themselves. Silently, they exceed expectations and surprise those who once underestimated them. This drive, born from a childhood filled with external doubts, allows them to grow into confident adults, ready to face any challenge with calm and determination. The struggle to fake enthusiasm. For Sigma males, faking enthusiasm for something they don't care about has never been easy. From a young age, while their peers got excited about trendy toys or the latest video games, they couldn't force a smile or act as if those topics interested them. This inability to pretend enthusiasm made them seem disinterested or distant when, in reality, they simply didn't find value in what others considered exciting. Whether in the classroom or at social gatherings, they often felt out of place for not sharing the popular passions. This struggle to fake enthusiasm intensifies when social expectations require them to show excitement or interest in things that, for them, hold no importance. Sigma males, from an early age, prefer to be honest with themselves, even if it means being perceived as the weird or boring ones. At family events, for example, while other children joined in noisy games, the future Sigma male was more interested in activities that stimulated their mind, like reading a book or building something. This authenticity, though admirable, constantly placed them on the margins of what was socially accepted. However, as they grow, Sigma males learn to accept this difference and stop trying to fit in where they naturally don't. Instead of forcing enthusiasm for what doesn't excite them, they adopt an honest approach to life. They prefer to invest their energy in what truly matters to them. This trait turns them into authentic adults, people who don't seek superficial approval, but pursue what brings them meaning and value. While faking enthusiasm may be difficult for them, staying true to themselves gives them an inner strength that few develop. Now that you know the struggles every Sigma male has faced in their childhood, it's time to reflect on how those experiences have shaped you. What will you do with all this knowledge? Will you continue to let others underestimate your ability, or will you use that silent strength to achieve what you truly want? Remember, being a Sigma male is a path of constant growth and self-discovery. You may continue to face obstacles, but now you know those challenges are what have shaped you. Don't be afraid to be different. Use it to your advantage. And if you want to keep diving into topics that will help you better understand your own path, subscribe to Official Sigma Male. Here, we'll continue unveiling truths that few share, but that can transform your life. Turn on notifications and keep learning how to turn every challenge into an opportunity.